Well, good afternoon. I want to sound like an announcer for a ball game, but right now I'm praying for the Atlanta Braves. Today is whatever the hell today is. Today is the 12th of October, and the Braves are playing right now for their life, or later on today. I can't remember what time it is after taking an ass whooping last night. And it was a great game if you're a Phillies fan. If not, then you're probably at home binging on some nachos and some cheese, waiting for a new game. But what a hell of a game last night. Bryce Harper came through. It's funny. A lot of people don't like the guy. A lot of people have negative things to say. The best part about this show, by the way, welcome back to My Opinion, You're Welcome, is we just have opinions on different things, and then we just keep moving on. American League Series is going to have the Astros versus Texas. I think it's the second time in can't remember how many years, two teams in the same state. Hopefully Texas wins because nobody likes the Astros. They're just fucking annoying. And the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers. All you Dodger fans who are front runners and think you actually won a real legit World Series, 62 fucking games, you got your ass kicked. And if you don't fire Dave Roberts, probably a wonderful man, come on, you let a guy pitch last night, 4 home runs in 1 inning. Were you looking to have your name in the record book in case this never happens again? But let's move on. Now, tonight is going to be an interesting football game. Kansas City Chiefs, for all you friends out there that love Patrick Mahomes, are going to play, I had to swallow there for a second. God bless them all. The Denver Broncos. And if you look at stats, the stats for Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson are literally almost the same. Completions, touchdown ratio is a little bit different. Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions, and everybody hates Russell Wilson. Okay, first he was a cocky guy. He did great at Seattle. Then he came over. He was a prima donna last year. Everybody knows it. You got to have your own coach and your own office. The guy's getting towards the back end of his career, but also Sean Payton has to be responsible. The man came in, badmouthed everybody, and look at him. He shit all over himself. They just, again today, got rid of another defensive player. The 49ers picked up the other guy. I believe his name is Gregory. But, there's so many great things going on in sports. Basketball season has started. Hockey opening night. The kid Bernard, I hope I'm saying his name right. I got to see the opening game. He got an assist and he scored last night. My favorite team, Pittsburgh. My boys, we won the game against him. And now the Kings played last night. The best part about the Kings game last night was a huge fight. Other than that, they shit on themselves. It wasn't a great game. But you've got hockey. You've got the Rugby World Cup, which is awesome, still going on. I believe it's still going on because I watched the other day, unless I was watching a rerun, which didn't make sense. Speaking of something like that, 5 years ago, I had a friend bet me. We were watching a show at a restaurant, a game. So he bet me on the game. Well, unknowing to me, because I'm not the smartest cat in the room, the game was the night before. He already knew the score. I lost $250. I found out when the game was over because I'm watching the damn TV, and I realized in the bottom corner, it said replay. And you talk about embarrassing, but the good thing is I got $250 back a different way from him. But, the sports are here. The WNBA, the Aces, are playing the Liberty, and they have beaten the living crap. These ladies are so fun to watch. It's 2-0. I think the next game's coming up in 2 days. But just what a great series to watch that. And now basketball. Let's get to basketball. I love basketball. But God, the NBA, a lot of whining, a lot of crying, a lot of complaining. You want to build these super teams. James Harden, what are they going to do with him? They're going to keep him on the team. I wish an owner would just pay an athlete, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever, and put him on the sideline. If they are that negative, why do you want them on your team? Everybody, the bottom line is, it's the almighty dollar. And so you've got to do what you want to do. But sports right now, there's a lot going on. You have all the different sports shows, whether it's ESPN, Get Up, or First Take. You have Fox Sports with a couple different shows on there, and Undisputed. There's a guy that just needs to fucking retire. He looks like he's dead, first of all, the guy that's the host. And then his best thing is he brought on Keyshawn Johnson and a couple other people. But you have all these shows, and all they do is degrade the athletes. Well, it's their job to point things out. It's also their job to say, what's the correct word? My sources. Whether they're real or not, who knows? But the great thing is you have the people who play sports, and then they turn into commentators or the media. Then you have the people who are journalists who've never played sports, but their minds are brilliant. You have some people that I always love. For me, there's the sports reporters and there's the sports announcers. To me, the announcers are the ones live at the game, whether it's on television, radio, YouTube, any type of streaming. And the sports reporters are phenomenal. My favorite sports reporters to me, Ramona Shelburne and Marcus Wiley are right here. Right after them is Monica McNutt and Mina Kimes. Brilliant minds. They bring different perspective. Then you have Keyshawn Johnson. I love Max Kellerman. I love Mike Greenberg. I love Ryan Clark, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn. You have all these wonderful people giving an opinion. One great thing about Ramona Shelburne is the fact that her knowledge of sports, because she was a great softball, pardon me, her knowledge of sports is amazing. And you never hear her degrade somebody. You have others put people down to make themselves look like, look at me, Stephen A. Smith. There's a guy that does it all the time. But the bottom line is, he talks about himself in the third party. He always talks about how he looks, always talks about he's on a soap opera. No one cares. What people care about is getting facts and hearing stories. And if you think about it, if he's the highest paid person at ESPN, I think he might be the second highest now because they just brought on Pat, came from YouTube. I can't remember his name. He's got a show on there. I think he signed a contract for 5 years at $85 million. He has Aaron Rodgers on every Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday. Then he has Coach Saban on from Alabama. What's his name?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. And if you look at the Pat McAfee show, it's interesting. They have this thing in the beginning. It talks about, swearing and this and that. They dummy down everything. He's got a brilliant mind. He has people on the show that are his team, which I'm not too sure about. They kind of bore the hell out of me. But the reality is, another thing people don't realize, it's like in anything. If you want people to help build you, and he made a statement, I'm not sure, last couple of days or maybe last week, that Aaron Rodgers helped build his show when he was on YouTube. So Aaron Rodgers gets to be on his show, I believe it's once a week, for maybe $1 million or something like that. Lou Saban, he pays to be on his show. Why would you not pay people who can help you, who can help get you the notoriety you want? Because I'm sure Aaron Rodgers alone helped get him this contract. Because now, and when you're working with people, if you're on television and you have shows, you have producers, you have people behind the scene no one ever hears about that are the ones who go out and contact the athletes, their representatives, their agents. So you have a whole team of people. It's not just that person you see in front. And when that person is so narcissistic that someone like Stephen A. Smith is just extremely insecure about himself in so many ways. Because when you have to talk about yourself and how great you are all the time, it gets annoying. I think it gets annoying for everybody. One of the great things for me is now there's Professional Women's Hockey League. I'm trying to figure out where the teams are. I know they're in different states. I don't know if they're in California. I think it's awesome. We have women who are going to be paid to play. And I had the blessing to see 2 teams play last year. And let me tell you, the men are ferocious. The women are just as ferocious. And skill level is just phenomenal. So we have all these different things going on right now. We have people preparing for the Olympics. We have so many things that are happening in sports. It's a blessing to be around because I don't know about you, but I'm on the phone a lot during the day working and I have sports on. I get soccer from every country in the world. I have over 400 channels, thank you, Jesus, and don't know half of them, but 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm up, I get sports from someplace. Sports is the one thing that's universal. Everybody that you know or that I know is connected some way in sports, whether it's them, their kids, aunt, uncle, cousins, people they went to high school with. And sports is just something that brings so many people together. You think about college sports. Look at all these fans on the weekends when it comes to the college sports. I would tell you what this is, but no one's paid me. I definitely sound like a person who lives in a trailer crash. But you have all these sports, and you have people who built bonds with each other going to sports. All the memorabilia from years past, all the jerseys, the jackets, the hats, everything they have, it's a billion dollar business. But look at the friends you make. Look at the people you associate with. It's so cool to watch these people tailgate. I don't know if you've ever been to a tailgate. I went once, never went into the game because the people were offering, it was one of the most amazing things. And then you get to meet people. You get to have the people from the South, the Big Ten, SEC, SEC, Pac-12, pardon me, Pac-2 now. You have, and that's an interesting thing, you have 6 teams, I believe it is. I can't remember how many of the top 25 from the Pac-12. And it's going away. For whatever reasons, who knows? You have UCLA and USC heading out to the Big Ten, I believe it is. You have Oregon and I think Washington going elsewhere. What's the bottom line here? But you think about it. You have these academic people out there always complain. Well, the students aren't going to be able to, do good academic-wise because, they're going to be flying around and doing this. Look, these students, if they complain, take away the scholarships. They love this. They have a center of, for 4 years or 5, depending on what you're doing, or 2 or 3, you get to be the center of attention in sports. You get to be looked at like, oh my God, what an amazing person. You got a scholarship. Think about Ohio State plays, Mark? Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Okay. And that game alone, bragging rights. Texas lost. Unfortunately, you screwed me to Oklahoma the other day. What a great game. You have these rivalry games. USC is playing UCLA at some point. This weekend you have USC. Last weekend you had USC playing Colorado. This weekend USC plays Notre Dame. And so you have all these. I mean, look, Deion Sanders, like him or hate him, what's the number one thing the man has done his whole life? Sell, motivate, and believe in himself from what he says. And you think about that. Everywhere he's gone, whatever he's done, he's got a magnetic personality. And he seems very transparent. I don't know, never met the man. But you see what he brings to the game. And does he overhype things? Everybody overhypes. Does he make comments that he shouldn't? Everybody makes comments they shouldn't. But here's the best part. The man sticks with what he says. That's the beauty of it. And they've put together a wonderful team at Colorado. Who would think Colorado? If you think about it, where would you have thought he'd gone after Jackson State? Seriously. A lot of people were mad at him for leaving Jackson State. Why? You always want to go to a different challenge at some point. He showed that he was successful. He put them on the map. He put some of the schools on the map. Some of the players come to him. Now he's got new players out in Colorado. Kids are going to want to come there. What a brilliant move by Colorado to hire him. Just brilliant. But it's not just because you hired him. Look at the seats in the stands. Look at the merchandise. Colorado went and played Arizona or Arizona State. I can't remember which one it was, and it was a hell of a game. They had never had that many people in a freaking home game in the last 10, 15 years probably. Look at the commercials he does with Lou Saban. Funnier than shit. The guy is funny. Also, from a health point of view, he's got some health issues. And even though he has the health issues, he's still doing the same thing. You don't see him making excuses why he can't walk, why he can't run, why he can't do this thing. So it's a motivational person in sports. Every team has someone that's motivational. Now, if you're a Michigan fan, God bless you, Mark, Jim Harbaugh, he's about as motivating as watching paint dry. I don't know what the man says. It's like, God, please don't put him on TV. Jesus, I don't want to hear what he has to say. But obviously, he's an amazing coach. He's an amazing recruiter. He sells and he wins. Think about that. Lou Saban been around for a long time. Everybody says, well, Alabama now is not as good. Okay. Other teams are going to catch up. Look at how many of his assistants are at other colleges, head coaches, offensive coaches, defensive coordinators. Look at that. Everything because of NIL is balancing out. But Alabama's Alabama. Think about that. Alabama's Alabama. Good example. He worked with Bill Belichick at one point. Everybody says that Belichick, and if I pronounce his name wrong, it's okay because he doesn't know who the hell I am. That he's lost it because of Tom Brady not being there. Okay, if Tom Brady had never won a Super Bowl at Tampa, none of this would be talked about because they worked together. But also, his biggest mistake, if you look at it, he's a general manager as well. You want to fire the general manager? Fire yourself. His end is coming because he doesn't, from what I've seen and what I watch and what I read, he doesn't care what other people say. But okay, you had last year really bad people helping run the offense. Now you have someone who's really good. And you just have to continue looking at the people out there because in sports, there's so much to learn. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many ways you can bring sports to better your life. It's like going to college and graduating. The alumni. If you go to a college that has an amazing alumni, that means you have an opportunity to interact with alumni. They could have a company that you want to be part of. They might like sports. They might like badminton, might like cricket. They might like bowling. Everybody has an interest, and some people you wouldn't even imagine what their interests are. But at the same time, sports brings everybody together. And it does separate us, because then there are people who are just playing us crazy. That if you don't like your team, you're a loser, your kids are going to hell, I hope your kids die. I mean, the shit that comes out, and I'm saying this to the Raider fans, you all got some problems. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I'll always stick with my teams no matter what. Justin Fields had a good game last week against a shitty team. Is he talented? Yes. Have they put the wrong schemes in there? Yes. Is he good enough to carry a franchise? Not a chance. They need to trade him and get some value for him now. I mean, if he went to Atlanta Falcons, him and the young kid that came from Texas, the running back, what a great combo. If you look at all these athletes, look at the one now, J.C. Stroud. Wow, this kid is phenomenal. Who'd have thought, because he wasn't selected number one, the number one pick with the Panthers is having a hell of a time. Richardson, who has all the physical attributes, just like Allen does with Buffalo, now he's got a bad shoulder. You bring in Garden. First of all, whoever named their kid Garden, good move, because you obviously went in some type of marketing deal when the kid Garden Minshew. I mean, it's kind of like someone who's a vegan or someone who's on a TV series. You ever seen the TV series? It's a great series called Into the Badlands, all about murder. And it's the Badlands. So,
did you see his new commercial for shovels?
For who?
Gardner.
He's got a commercial for what? Oh. Well, speaking of commercials that lost him, how about poor Baker losing all that money with the insurance? Now they're doing good. And come on, you got to give Baker a chance. He might be an asshole, but the reality is he accepts that he's an asshole. But I got to tell you, he's been doing a great job, at least for now. And what's so funny about sports, it's right today. When you watch these sports shows, it's today. It's like the whole thing with the Dodgers losing and everybody saying, well, his mistake was leaving the kid in to pitch. His mistake was this. His mistake was that. I guess the day before or 2 days before, he didn't go to a practice. Was he told to? Because the Dodgers have this history of everything being run by the hierarchy rather than the manager. Now you look at the Diamondbacks. Look at what the gentleman's done there. Most people don't even know who the hell the guy is. They're playing to go to the World Series. Who would have thought the Diamondbacks? In the beginning of the year, they were doing great. They got rookies. They got this kid Carroll, who, if he's not the rookie of the year, then there's an injustice. MVP has to be Acuna. O'Shea, Ohtani, hope to God he gets the MVP in the American League. He deserves it. But you have all these different pieces. Every day it's a puzzle. You never know what's going to happen. Sports injuries. I'm always thinking about this. What I love about hockey, they got an upper body or lower body injury. They don't tell you. But if you're a baseball player, he's got a blister and he can't pitch. But here's the thing. If you think about it, if you have a blister, how are you going to pitch? I mean, these little tiny things we don't think about, they do make a big difference. Hold on. Pepsi? It is not. There you go. And what's important about sports is what I love. It brings people together. I'm going to come back to that. My opinion is without sports, what a shitty, boring-ass world. Because every career, every degree you get in college, you can use it in sports. There's nothing you can't use it in. And you have so many wonderful personalities. Think about this. How many great athletes are in announcers, are announcers now, as that my English gets better as I continue to think. Really great ones. Last night I got to watch Wayne Gretzky talk. Wow. He's on a panel with 4 other guys after the hockey games. It's so fun to watch because you learn. And if you think about it, you learn from athletes because dedication, sacrifice, structure, communication, ability to work through very difficult situations, and they always have that expression, water off the back to where you think about everybody criticizes these people. Whether it's the women, the men, the college, the grade school, I used to umpire in Northern California, and I'll never forget I had a game, 9-year-old kids. The father's like, "You're not getting any hot dogs." I'm like, "Okay, time out here. You got to give the kid a hot dog. You know, you have all the parents who do that. NIL, phenomenal. They're going to put some, I guess, make some corrections on it that they think so that they can help the kids with investment, because you have a lot of families, and we all know this, you have families who, I don't want to use the word breed their kid. Yeah, that's to be an athlete, so that even if the family doesn't have anything, they're going to take that money. Well, if you have some advisors, it's better. You have a lot of kids out there. There's high school kids getting paid. Why not? Everybody says, well, the coaches, it's different with the coaches. Okay, the coaches put in years to get where they are. That's right. But you chose to be a coach. And you get paid shitloads of freaking money. So let's not complain out there, the coaches. The families. I mean, look at, was it Utah? Gave all the kids on scholarship a truck. Well, obviously you need a truck because it's the middle of fucking Utah. There's nothing out there and it's cold. But 85 kids on scholarship. Now, here's the thing. You have kids who are preferred walk-ons who are playing who don't get a truck. How fucked is that? But some company got smart, gave them 85 trucks. Now, if one of those kids makes it to the pros, I'm sure somebody say, let's sell the truck. He could sign the truck. Really? You're going to sign a truck? So there's so many different ways that everybody can win, because the NCAA is a conglomerate. It's all about money. I mean, athletes 5 years ago, if someone wanted to buy you lunch, you had to really check to see if someone could buy you lunch, so it wasn't a gift from some. My nephew played college basketball, and I was going to take them all to dinner, couldn't do it because it looked as if it was paying for something. So kids in the past and people like Reggie Bush, you know, losing the Heisman Trophy, give the man the back. He's got his own Wendy's commercials, for Christ's sake. Give the man something. You know, he earned it. When you earn it and there's a glitch off the side, how fair is that in sports? It makes no sense. You know, in the minor leagues, they use automatic umpires or whatever it's called, you know, and they're thinking about using them at the big leagues at some point. The best part about a baseball game is human error. The best part. All these different angles in sports with football and this, the best part was human error in the past. Because you couldn't the Immaculate Conception. I don't know about any of you. I've seen it probably 500 times. I don't know if the man caught the ball or not, but he caught it. You know, the one with the Raiders and with the Patriots, you know, when made that snowflake, and the one with Brady, you know, did he fumble? Well, all the replays. So replays are great, and then they're not. It all depends on what sport. And in hockey, you don't see many people trying to, timeout, he hit me. Or he was off of the blue line, or he was offside. Soccer, the same way. Soccer players, you guys got to get a little more structure in your lives. When I say structure, I mean stop being babies. The women's soccer is so fun to watch because they just knock the crap out of each other and they move forward. The men are whining and crying. It's just ridiculous. You got $1 billion out on the pitch, and you're the biggest babies in the world. The best about basketball players is when they fight, they back up. Now you got Brooks, the guy that played with Memphis. Now he's with Houston. First or second preseason game, he hits another guy in the crotch. What is wrong with this fucking guy? You would think that someone would try to help these guys, and they definitely need to because they need help. But today, I just wanted to rant and rave and talk about different things because I think that I know everything in my head. Now, I don't know everything. Got the number here, text, call. Give us your opinion on any of this. Remember, this is an opinion based upon the facts that live in my head. This is Dennis Henning. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to coming back. Have a great day.